Hello everyone, welcome back to Destination Now. For those of you who don't know us, I'm Jacqueline, and this is Nick, and we travel full-time in our Lance truck camper. Today we're going to discuss our Wi-Fi through Starlink and how we've adapted it for use as full-time travelers and whether we think it's worth having for RVers or not. If you find today's topic interesting, consider subscribing to our channel below and hitting that like button.
Wherever I go, I will always know everything I need is right here with me. It's time to let it all go.
We are on our way up to Prescott Valley to pick up a Starlink Satellite, secondhand on Craigslist. Should be able to transfer ownership and use it in our travels. We'll have anywhere from 200 megabytes a second to 300 megabytes a second up download speeds, unlimited data. Something that is really hard to come by on the road. So we are excited. This has been a long time coming. We've been planning for this. Meeting up with Brian in about an hour and we're gonna buy this satellite. Hope it works.
First off, let's discuss what exactly is Starlink. Elon Musk and SpaceX have been putting together a network of low orbit satellites in the sky with the ultimate goal to provide fast, affordable, low latency internet anywhere in the world, as long as you still have a clear view of the sky. However, it is not without limitations as it was designed for low to medium population densities.
Dude, wow. That's cool.
Yeah. So if anything comes up, you got my number.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be any issues.
I appreciate you making yourself available to work with me on it too.
Yeah.
Do I just create an account on Starlink and then just give it the serial number and it should?
And so there's I went through a Reddit questionnaire because Starlink Q&A had nothing about transferring ownership.
Right. I hear it's easier now.
Half the people said they had I would have to call Starlink.
Oh, okay.
To transfer. Other people are no, I just sold it and they had no issues.
Starlink does not currently have service everywhere, and in those places where it is active, the network has limited capacity per cell. Well, you're probably wondering, what's a cell? SpaceX has divided the world into service cells that are roughly 15 miles across. Some cells have not yet been activated, and others are already currently at user capacity.
So apparently there was a email sent to the previous owner's inbox that he never responded to, and that's what we've been waiting on all this time. I'm excited because I just got this email. It's labeled account activation, and it reads, "Hi Nicholas, we are happy to inform you we have successfully created your new account. We have attached the transfer terms of service to this ticket for your records. Please update your billing information within 7 days or your account may be canceled. Be sure to download the Starlink app to your device. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out." It means something. I don't know what it means, but it means something.
There's always an option to buy used as well. Buying used is an easy way to obtain service, only if the seller is willing to work with you. The account holder is the only connection to Starlink's customer service. The seller will need to initiate your account transfer, and then Starlink will need to approve that transfer of ownership. Transfers can be denied if your desired cell location is full or not yet active. In our case, we had to wait 3 months for the previous owner to reply to an email before the account was transferred to us. There was nothing we could do about it on our end, so just keep that in mind when purchasing used.
I just got off the phone with Starlink Support, and they were very encouraging. They did inform me that what I'm doing with the satellite and the RV is not its current intended purpose, but they are working very hard to bring Starlink satellites to mobile applications like mine. In fact, we are their target customers. So they're working very hard to make that a possibility for us. Fortunately for us, we can still use it because they make Starlink transferable to different addresses, and they make that process very, very easy, assuming there's an open cell. So that is what we're doing. We are not a mobile application of Starlink, but we do move frequently. So kind of the same thing, but not really as far as they're concerned. We have locked down an address that is roughly 25 miles away from our current location as our service address, and I am now attempting to connect to that address as far away as it is with the satellite. So I don't know if it's going to work. If it does work, it might be really slow, but we're going to be in this location for another month if everything goes according to plan, and we would like to have this satellite connected. Unfortunately, they have not activated this area yet. So our only option to connect is 25 miles away. It's all done on their app. It's super simple. We'll see what happens. Full-time traveling RVers have an advantage of not necessarily needing service at a specific fixed location. Starlink now has an availability map that shows exactly where you can order one without a wait list. The only catch is that there are no guarantees that there will be service availability of a cell in your area, especially if you move often.
So I thought I'd give you guys an update on our beautiful Starlink satellite. Where we're at right now is I still can't connect to the address that I have 25 miles away. Unless, of course, I were willing to drive over there, and it's more than that. It's like an hour and a half drive. It's just 25 minutes as the crow flies, you know? And so we do not have connectivity right now.
When ordering the system, you can expect to pay $599 for the hardware, $50 for the shipping, local taxes, and an ongoing monthly service charge of $110. That is for unlimited, unthrottled data.
Because our satellite is activated, we are paying $100 a month, whether we have internet or not.
Unfortunately, there's no way to suspend service if you're a part-time RVer or want to hold service for some reason. It is, however, simple to cancel service and then reactivate. The only downside is that your cell may fill up and not be available upon reactivation if you do this.
The only places that are having issues with connectivity are the southern regions of the United States, specifically, you know, down here in Tucson, Arizona. If we were up in Phoenix, we'd be connected already.
Though roaming is still not officially supported by SpaceX, in March of 2022, a behind-the-scenes roaming feature was enabled on most devices, allowing Starlink systems to connect, even when away from their assigned cells. Some customers have reported experiencing slower, congested internet speeds when doing this. We're currently 25 miles away from our cell, and our service is still surprisingly fast using this roaming feature.
So here we are at Rooster Codburn's in the parking lot, setting up our Starlink satellite, because this is the address that we got to work. I'm super ecstatic about it. We're gonna get internet. It's currently an hour drive away from our campsite that we're staying at. Unfortunately, I can't get the address to work there, but there's a new roaming feature with the Starlink satellites that I should be able to use it on the highway in between here and there if I had 110 connection, which I don't in this truck. And they're actually working on setting up a 12-volt connection for this, but they haven't come out with it yet. So we won't be able to keep it connected all the way home, but once we get home, theoretically, it should work once I do the initial update on this. Wish me luck.
We'd like to note here that Starlink is not intended for mobile applications just yet, but many RVers have found ways to make this service useful while stationary, including us. Starlink in motion is currently prohibited and pending approval by the FCC. It will void the warranty of your kit if you try to use it while in motion, and there's little plastic gears inside of the satellite that are likely to break with the wind force of the highway.
It's happening! I have the internet! Yes!
Online, look at that, online. 110 megabytes a second upload.
That's really fast.
130 megabytes a second download, 30 megabytes a second upload. That's excellent. Oh yeah, it likes that spot way better.
That's like double.
Holy smokes. Slower? So that's incredible download.
Things to consider as an RVer when using Starlink. Your satellite dish will need a clear view of the sky, so those nice shady campgrounds with trees all around, they're not ideal. For instance, we have a single palm tree blocking our dish that causes some interference every few minutes as the satellites pass by. Another thing is this system currently runs off 120 volt AC power. The original Dishy is power hungry, using a consistent 100 watts throughout the day. That's 2.4 kilowatts each day. That's a lot of power if you're boondocking. The second version is a little bit better at 40 to 60 watts, and the newest square dish is down to 30 to 40 watts, which is drastically better, but still something to take into consideration. As we already discussed earlier, when roaming, you may experience inactive cells or congestion with slower internet speeds. Then there can be a space issue, as the earlier models of the dish are a bit bulky for smaller RV storage.
Because the original intent of Starlink is for rural areas, Elon Musk states that Starlink is not intended to replace fiber or cellular 5G internet, but rather to complement them in remote, hard-to-reach parts of the world. So these services are not meant for the general city-dwelling public.
If you'd like to know more about Starlink for RV applications, we found the Facebook group called Starlink for RVers and other mobile users extremely helpful. This group is full of knowledgeable members that are currently using Starlink and have a ton of troubleshooting knowledge. Another great resource is a Starlink guide put together by the Mobile Internet Resource Center. They have definitely done their research, and this guide will answer nearly any question you may have. The Mobile Internet Resource Center also has an amazing YouTube channel that we highly recommend checking out and subscribing to, as they're constantly posting a wide range of updated, useful information. We'd like to thank each of these groups, as they've helped us out a great deal with our Starlink journey. You can find links to these resources in our description below.
So basically, there's no guarantees. This is an experimental service. We are launching literal satellites up into the sky into an orbit elevation that has never ever been done before. So just keep that in mind. It's sometimes gonna work and sometimes not. Just try to focus on the fact that 2 years ago, there was no way that you would have this fast of internet in the locations that we can get it today. Thanks for joining us today. If you found this video helpful or interesting, give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel.
Let us know your thoughts and experiences with Starlink in the comments below, and we'll see you next Tuesday on another adventure.
Thanks for watching.